Alive and alert on the north side of the dirt. This is your man D-Real coming at you with another Be Real with D-Real, where edutainment is what I do. Hey, look here, y'all. Had a subject that's been on my mind for a while because it's been on my mind, and I had a lot of time to think about it and kind of roll it around in my head, and this is what I came up with. T'Challa, the Black Panther. As of 1998, has worn a vibranium weave costume. Is that about right? So if it's a vibranium weave, okay, it's what a lot of people misunderstand. A vibranium weave is different from an entire costume made of vibranium. Couldn't have a costume made of vibranium, could you? Not completely. It would restrict movement, right? Yeah. Let's talk about that. We're going to talk about T'Challa and his vibranium. Now, before we talk about T'Challa and his vibranium, I am going to need you guys to do what you always do for the bobblehead that doesn't look like me. Even if I put glasses on it, does that look like me? I'm going to need a new bobblehead. Anyways, comment, like, subscribe, and share the Be Real with D-Real page so that when new material comes out, you get it. If you're digging what a brother shoveling, put some dirt in my bucket, comment, like, subscribe, and share this. Okay. Vibranium and T'Challa. Let's talk about it. Ever since this comic book right here, Daredevil, Volume 1, Issue 13, 1964, 2 years before the Black Panther makes his debut in comics, there is Vibranium in the 616 universe. It's not Wakandan vibranium. It's that good old Antarctic vibranium. And here is Carnival Plunder with Daredevil, and they're going down into his dungeon on his island. He's like some kind of pirate, I guess you could call him that. And he's got Kazar trapped in a room, whatever. But this is what we're looking at. Their father was a world explorer, and he brought back this rock-like fragment on his travels. And look what this rock-like fragment does. Its vibrations are shattering the hammer. So that is vibranium. That is vibranium from Antarctica that is known for breaking the bonds, the molecular bonds between metals. It is the vibranium that T'Challa uses in his claws, which makes them every bit as deadly as adamantium. So there you go. Adamantium is unyielding. Antarctic vibranium is disintegrating in the truest sense of the word. Now, let's get to what we came to talk about. As far back as Jungle Action Comics, which was 1972, so that's about 8 years after the introduction of vibranium, we see T'Challa on the cover of Jungle Action number 10, shredded costume. This ain't the first time we're going to see T'Challa during the entire run of Jungle Action with a shredded costume. So if we go into the book, there isn't too much shredded costume to speak of in this comic. He had a run-in with an alligator. An alligator? An alligator did that. Hmm. Hmm. Couple issues later, in Jungle Action 15, we see yet another shredded T'Challa outfit, because obviously he's replacing these costumes, because if he's got well, no, he's not replacing them. Some of them he went 2 and 3 issues with the same shredded up costume, but then at some point he gets back to the Golden City, gets to rest, hang out with Monica, but then he's back out again getting his costume shredded up. And as we look in the inside of the book, there, right there, costume nice and tore up. And for some reason in Jungle Action, they liked either beating T'Challa like a slave or tying him up like one. I don't know what the characterization was about, but I hope Billy Graham and Don McGregor had a good reason for it. They must have. The book turned out to be a classic, or a classic run anyway. And now we dive off into the Priest era. This is when T'Challa supposedly was supposed to have the Vibranium weave. But as we see on the cover, in Hard Combat with Killmonger, Killmonger must have Vibranium-based weaponry. Doesn't look like a weapon's being used here. This is ritual combat. Well, the claws are. Okay. And then when we finally see the uniform, that's what's happened to it. We go all the way back to the Jungle Action days. Now, I know what you're saying. I know exactly what you're saying. D-Real, you totally skipped over Panther's Prey and Panther's Quest. Okay, I give you that one. But check this out. Surprise! No, I didn't. Marvel Comics presents number 18. That's smack dab in the middle of some Panthers Quest. Now, here is the final issue of Panther's Quest. He's going to get Ramunda. He's done with the BS. He's done fighting with this big South African dude. He playing for keeps. Kinda. He's getting drowned. Now, I ain't much for Gene Colan art, and I've told people that. But look. My man's calves are bleeding. Come on, Colan. You got to put it somewhere else besides all his calves. I get it, but, wounds. And this was just nasty how he did, dude. He dug in my man's wound. Ugh. And then proceeded to tune his ass up. My man pulled a knife, and T'Challa made him stick himself with it. I'm reminded of the Mac. Stick yourself, Tony. Stick yourself. Now here we are again, ironically, in the Priest era. It's T'Challa's outfit. Now, they're fighting Ultron in this book. Ultron. Oops, oopsie, oopsie. Edit. Now, here we are in the Christopher Priest era. This is Avengers 21 volume 2. 3. I'm sorry, 3. Volume 3, because Rob Liefeld. They've returned. They're back, kicking butt, and he's got on the vibranium weave outfit. Now, here's T'Challa coming in for his attack. Close range. Blown away. And when we see T'Challa again in the fight, costume does not look any worse for the wear. Final example, Avengers 70, 485, depending on which one you prefer, legacy issue, whatever. Jeff Johns, Oliver Copiel, Red Zone. Y'all know what it is. Y'all know exactly what it is. T'Challa and Iron Man facing a chemical agent. Instead of saving Cap, Panther chooses to get into Red Skull's ass, which is precisely what he does. Red Skull ain't no punk. Now, looky there, ladies and gentlemen. Glass, glass, glass. Regular old glass. In his shoulder there. Regular old glass. Tears from the regular old glass. And now let's go ahead and get to that scene that I know everybody wants to see. Shouldn't have said that, Red Skull. One of the best issues of this run. Have you nothing to say, animal? Called him an animal. Yes, he took his gloves off for this one, cracked his knuckles, and said, I'm going to break your jaw. With tears in his uniform. With tears in his uniform. Bare knuckle. Bare knuckle. Would you call that an assist from the Falcon? And did he need it? Correct. But your kind never listens. So in closing, it could be theorized that vibranium weave into T'Challa's habits is in there selectively. Parts of his body he thinks need protection or don't need protection. Or it's just about writers. Maybe Jeff Johns and Christopher Priest and many of the other artists who have written Black Panther post Christopher Priest need to kind of stay up on what's going on with T'Challa. Makes sense? Makes sense to me. That's my story, and I'm sticking to it. He didn't always have it, because in early times, no protection whatsoever. And then there were moments when he did have it and he didn't have it post-Priest. Safe to say, T'Challa's got more than one habit. Safe to say, T'Challa's got habits that are made of vibranium weave and habits that are not. just an attempt to work it into storylines. When it's prevalent, we talk about it. When it's not prevalent, we don't. When it needs to be there, it is. When it doesn't, it's not. Not the answer you're looking for, but based on what you've seen, that appears to be the answer. Either that or writer's preference. We got to keep that one in mind too sometimes. That's it for now, y'all. But fret not, I will be coming at you with another one of these other ones. And until I do, y'all be good and be good to each other.